Hello, family and friends. Today I'd like to talk about the importance of English teachers, especially if you live in the United States. English teachers are always in high demand. I did a previous video talking about the importance of learning how to speak English, and if you are an English teacher, you will always have job opportunities in the United States as well as countries like the United Kingdom, especially cities like London. So I wanted to share um, an experience with you. I was speaking with one of my coworkers, and she had, or I should say, my former coworker, because I don't work at that place anymore. And she had a friend who was Hispanic. Now, the friend, she speaks English, but she speaks mainly Spanish at home. Her son was 7 years old and he was struggling with English at school. But he, otherwise, from English, he's very smart. So his teacher told the mom to sign a form to say that her son is a special ed student. The mom refused to sign the form, and I met her because I was tutoring part-time at that time. I was a part-time tutor. I still do tutoring, and I told her she made the right decision. And I feel so angry at the teacher, and that's not even my son, because I see a trend where first they tell the parents that your son has a learning disability, and next they want to try to put the child on medication. And I hope that that never happens to that student. And I hope that the mom will continue to believe in her son's ability and will refuse any suggestion for her son to be put on medication. In this case, she saw tutoring, and my friend referred her to me to tutor her son English, and that's how I met them. And so she only needed to get tutoring for her son or to get her son to a better school. So can you imagine having on your record that you are special ed when there's nothing wrong with you? And can you imagine that record following you through every institution you attend for the rest of your life? What would you do if it were your child? uh, you know, I I think that because there is a demand for good teachers, especially in schools that are overcrowded, or the ratio is like 1 to 20 in the classroom. There, the teacher does not have the opportunity to work with each student individually and help that student overcome their special academic needs. So you have the situation where if it's a student where English is not spoken in the home, the trend is to automatically put the student or suggest to the student's family to put them in special ed. Why not put the student in tutoring? Why are we putting the student that has no other problem in special ed? There's nothing wrong with special ed, but the school is failing to teach the students English properly. And that does not have anything to do with the student's academic ability. So that's my point. And so if you are an English teacher, you have all your relevant certifications, you will always be in demand in the United States of America. And I have another story to share with you. Um, I met another mom who was from India, and she was telling me that her son was having problems speaking English, and they put on his school record that he has dyslexia. She said he was very smart at math, but he had problems with English grammar. The school made him take a test, and the school nurse agreed and signed documents, and they even sent him to get tested with a psychologist where he had to do a 6-hour test, and the psychologist signed that he has dyslexia. They then forced the mom to register the child in a school for children who have learning disabilities. When the mom shared her story with me, I was horrified. I told the mom she needed a friend who was a lawyer who can write a letter to the school superintendent. How how can a kid with dyslexia score an A in math? Because that's what her the mom had hired me to tutor her son math, but I informed her that I also tutored English. I felt like this school system was a very evil and corrupt one, and one that just persecutes people that speak a different language and force them to accept that their children are dyslexic or they have special or they're a special ed student just because they don't speak English. So imagine the kids graduating from high school and having difficulty to get their desired job or to get into the college that they desire and get a decent job because on their record it says that they have they are dyslexic or they are slow or they are special ed or they have some type of disability just because they don't speak English. So this is a situation where I feel it needs to be addressed. This issue needs to be addressed, and I'm just sharing this for other moms out there who they may have been told that there's something wrong with their child is dyslexic, and the school recommends putting their child on medication. If you know your child and you know that there's nothing wrong with your child, and you know the academic abilities of your child, if you know that your child is not dyslexic, do not let any teacher tell you that your child is dyslexic. You need to stand up for your children. You need to advocate for your children. Because what happens is when you place a brilliant child in an environment where they are treated like there is something wrong with their intellectual ability, it causes the child to become frustrated. So you need to advocate for your child. You need to get some type of assistance where you can, or move your child to a different school if you can afford it. You can't afford it, you probably just need to get some assistance, get a tutor, or get someone to write a letter for you, someone who has their legal certifications or license to write a letter for you to stop these people from destroying your child's future, because they are putting your child at a disadvantage by claiming that your child is intellectually incapable, when the problem is that the class may be overcrowded, the teacher is overwhelmed, and the child is not being taught properly, as well as the parents do not speak English at home. So there's nothing wrong with the child learning English. Their intellectual ability have has nothing to do with learning the subject. So it is wrong to be forcing parents to put these children in special ed, or telling the parents to put the child on medication. So that is my personal opinion. If you have had this experience, please comment, share your experience with me. And if you are an English teacher, you will always be in demand, especially in the United States, or also countries like the UK. You will always be in demand. People are always trying to learn English or get an English teacher or tutor for their child. So thank you once again for watching my video. Let me know what you think. Please like, share my video, and subscribe to my channel. Thank you. See you in the next video.